Hey, this is Sean Compton, VP of Fulfillment Logistics at OceanX, here with our weekly update. Today, we're going to devote the entire time to a very important topic, and that's understanding carrier costs. And the carriers we're going to talk about this week are parcel carriers. We get a lot of questions from our clients about costs and what impacts carrier costs and things like that. So we're going to go through at a high level some of the primary factors that impact carrier costs. So most carriers operate a delivery program that's based on fixed rates coupled with various variable surcharges, right? The fixed rates are typically based on two factors, weight and distance. For the weight, the USPS and hybrid carriers being those that do a final mile delivery with the USPS, typically have two weight scales, one for parcels that are under a pound and one for parcels that weigh a pound or more. For the under a pound or lightweight parcels, those are rounded up to the next ounce increment for the rate. Parcels over a pound are rounded up to the next pound increment for the rate. For example, a 1.1 pound parcel and a 1.9 pound parcel would both round up to 2 pounds for rating purposes. And likewise for parcels under a pound, if a parcel weighs 6.1 ounces and another parcel weighs 6.8 ounces, those would both round up to 7 ounces for the rate. So everything under a pound in the hybrid programs and the USPS programs are going to be at the ounce rate, the next applicable ounce rate, and those that are above a pound will round up to the next pound. It's very important to understand that concept, right? The next for the base rate is the distance. This is typically categorized as zones. It's a representation of the distance a parcel will travel until it is delivered. Shorter distances have a lower zone and therefore are less expensive than higher zoned packages which travel further. For example, if we're shipping from our fulfillment center in California, and the parcel is destined to California or another nearby location, that zone is going to be lower than if that parcel was traveling all the way to New York City, for example. So that distance is built into the zone and is, of course, the weight factor, right? So those two things typically comprise what becomes the base rate for the parcel. In addition to these base rate costs, other surcharges may apply. A few of the more common surcharges are fuel. I know we've talked a lot about fuel in the last couple of weeks. This is a variable surcharge that's based on a market or similar index. So that'll go up and down depending upon the cost of fuel out there in the market. The next, and get into a little bit lesser known, are delivery area and extended delivery area surcharges. Some carriers assess these for packages that are going to zip codes that are, for example, less densely populated. There's not as much parcel density going out to more remote areas. So it's a little more expensive for the carriers to go out and deliver those. So depending on how remote they are, or how removed they are, they can be assessed a delivery area or an extended delivery area surcharge. The extended being a little bit higher than the normal delivery area surcharge. Now, not all carriers are assessing these surcharges, but some of them indeed are. The next is residential. Some carriers add a residential surcharge for non-commercial delivery, particularly the big box carriers, right? The commercial deliveries don't have the residential surcharge applied to it, but delivering to a house, for example, will. So that's another surcharge that may be added onto your parcel delivery. And the last is a selected service, but it's a surcharge nonetheless, and that's for Saturday delivery. So some carriers assess a Saturday delivery surcharge for their services that do not typically deliver on a Saturday. One example of this could be UPS Next Day Air, for example. While they typically don't deliver on a Saturday, it is possible to select a shipment that you're shipping on Friday for a Saturday delivery, which then adds a surcharge to that as they need to dispatch a carrier to go out and make that delivery on a day that they don't traditionally deliver. Another factor to note that's very important in the cost of a parcel is dimensional weight. Many carriers have a dimensional weight divisor, which can impact the cost. A standard published divisor is 139. And dimensional weight can be calculated by taking the product of the length times the width times the height of your package and dividing it by that divisor. You are then charged the higher of either the dimensional weight or the actual weight. For example, a 2-pound parcel that measures 12 by 12 by 12 would actually ship as 13 pounds because 12 by 12 by 12 divided by 139 equals 12.43, which rounds up to 13. And as 13 is higher than 2 pounds, that's going to ship at that chargeable weight. So very important that particularly if you're shipping lightweight stuff, to make sure that you're using the proper size box to minimize any impact that a dimensional weight can apply to that package. So it's very easy to see how that size can impact the cost. But another way to possibly save on cost is to look at what we talked about previously with the rounding up of the weights. We call that looking at the cusp weights. For example, if you have a standard offering that ships with the weight of 3.1 pounds, it's therefore charged 4 pounds. But is it possible to alter the packaging to pull that under that 3-pound cusp? So if it's at 3.1 pounds, is there something in there, either in the carton size that's adding weight? Is there dunnage? Is there something in there that can be removed, thereby bringing it under the 3-pound cusp so that it ships at a 3-pound rate instead of a 4-pound rate? Even more important for those packages that are going through a USPS or a hybrid service where they cross from the ounce or lightweight parcel to a regular parcel at the 1-pound cusp. Very important to look at cusp weights, dimensional weight, in addition to these other surcharges. So that's our update for the week. We hope you stay tuned, and we'll look forward to seeing you for our update next week. Thank you.